4 conversational starters that you can use anytime, anywhere, and there are 4 types of conversation starters so that you don't need to memorize anything and you can be really present. And being really present is absolutely essential to having that type of wonderful connection and bringing someone into your bubble and really being able to then continue the conversation, which would be the topic of a different video. Before I go into the 4 types of conversation starters and give you some examples, I need to cover 2 foundational concepts, because ultimately when we interact with another human being, they're going to be sensing the words that come out of our mouth, and they're also going to be sensing our vibe or our energy, and then our energy is going to transmit in our eye contact, our animation, our facial tone, so many different things. And whether it's 50% or 60, or I think it's 90% our energy, it's an extremely large portion of it. So I want you to have that solved. So whether it's 50 to 90%, I'll give you the final 50 to 10% in the 4 conversation starters. So the 2 things we need to keep in mind is, first of all, we need to be going out already feeling good. One way to do this is visualize what you most desire in another person. Maybe it's an interpersonal type of relationship, maybe it's a business deal. And now see that in your mind's eye. And you're doing everything with that other person that you most desire, or if it's a business deal that's going perfectly. And now connect even more to that feeling that you have, which will likely be you're going to feel great. You're doing everything you most imagine with this other person, they're really, really excited. It's a win-win type of scenario. And you're feeling happy, you're likely feeling relaxed in your body, you're feeling present, you're feeling grounded. And you can expand this feeling more and more every time you do it, to where you want to continue doing it until you feel great. You are feeling 100%, which is really important, because then when you go out, people will feel that you already feel good. And regardless of what you say, in my opinion, you're going to get way better results in terms of having a positive type of interaction. The second foundational concept that's going to give you a lot better results is that you want to be going out with the mindset that you're going out to share great energy with other people, make people happy, share a great vibe, make them laugh, make them feel good about themselves. And that your joy is in doing the best you can to do that. I'll give you an example. A couple days ago, we were taking pictures by a lake, and a woman in her 80s, maybe mid to late 80s, she walked in front of the camera without knowing, and her family started apologizing, and she was apologizing for doing that. And I said to her, I said, no, you're the model, you're beautiful, we're taking pictures of you. And I was smiling when I was saying it, and you could see that she lit up. And it's that kind of mindset, because when you have these 2 things, you start talking with a lot of people. You start sharing this, you're already feeling good, and you're developing this mentality of, well, how can I make other people feel good and smile, because that's the right thing to do. You're already feeling good, it's the right thing to do. And incidentally, what that's going to do is create these 4 types of conversation starters as a habit, so that when that one type of person or that one situation where maybe before you were tongue-tied, or your mind went blank, or you didn't know, or you froze, and that window of opportunity passed by, you'll naturally be able to say something and start a conversation a lot easier, or ideally easy. The first type of conversation starter is what's called a direct conversation starter, where you're going to notice something about the other person and you're going to express it. For example, I saw you, I really wanted to meet you, my name is, or I saw you, you had this great energy, I wanted to meet you, my name is Eric. A couple of things to have the best results with this conversation starter, or the first one is you need to actually get their attention. When I used this last night, I actually tapped on their shoulder because they were doing some different things, and the angle, they didn't see me. So don't start talking until they actually see you. Another time I might say, hey, or excuse me. Whatever you do, the key is that they actually see you. You may have the eye contact, whatever it is, they need to actually see that you're talking to them before you start. Or if you start, you could say, I think hey can work. Whatever you feel comfortable with and what's going to fit in a type of your culture and how you speak. They need to hear you, they need to know you're talking to them, and then you're going to express something. The more detailed it can be about the person, the better. In other words, I saw you, you're cute, I thought you were cute, I wanted to meet you, is really broad, but if you can notice something, oh, I absolutely love your style, your fashion, the way you combine things, you don't see everyone like this. Or, I just had to meet you, you're the only one smiling in this entire area, did you notice that? My name is Eric, or you can continue any different ways. We're talking about conversation starters. You want to have really good eye contact. You don't want to be looking down at their body. Just keep great eye contact. That's really important. You can gaze into their left eye if you want, a window to their soul. You want to be grounded in your body. You can be facing them directly since you're talking to them. And what's most important than anything is don't memorize anything, is practice being even more present and noticing things about other people that you like. And then start sharing them with the people to make them feel good. Would that be nice if someone came up to you and said, Eric, I really like your black shirt. Actually, someone told me that they like this. I don't remember exactly when it was. No, yeah, now I do. Someone told me that they liked my bracelet, my leather bracelet, and I liked it. So notice things about people. You don't have to continue, but at least start practicing noticing things so that when you do say, I noticed this, it's actually something a little bit more specific than just something broad like you're cute or I wanted to meet you. That'll have a lot more significance and connect even more. Number 2 is an indirect conversation starter. I sincerely recommend that you expand your curiosity and you don't memorize anything, because being congruent is going to trump having some fantastic thing that worked for somebody else. For example, if I go to a new city, I'm very interested in where to eat, where to go out, the times for different things, how to get to different places, and so on. And I naturally ask those questions. And that's pretty indirect. Last night when we were out with some friends, we were having a conversation. I was having a conversation with my friend about the importance of energy versus what we're actually saying. And we were debating different percentages. There was a group of young women, relatively close, maybe 5 to 10 feet. So I walked over there, I said, we need your opinion. I think I got their attention. I think they actually saw me coming up, so I didn't need to say anything. They saw me walking up. I said, we're talking about something, we'd like your opinion, or something along those lines. I don't remember the exact words, doesn't really matter. She'd come with us, help us out. So they came with me and they gave us their opinion. What's really important is not having anything memorized, but it was something I was legitimately asking about because we were just talking about it. So that means that I was congruent because it was truthful that I actually wanted an opinion on it. Later on, we were walking and we were talking about another topic about eye contact and how, for example, in Switzerland, if someone's looking you in the eye, they really are interested, where in some countries, it's just being polite. So we walked by, there was another large group, and the exact same thing happened. I said, I think I said, hey, could you give us your opinion? We're talking about this. And they did. And it was really, we had a great conversation, at least 5 to 10 minutes before we said we were going somewhere else, but we'll keep in contact. And it all started from having a genuine curiosity and then asking that. So my recommendation would be is, instead of maybe going to Google, if you have something that you're interested in, it would relate and make sense to ask somebody else. You can keep it in mind and actually ask it because you're genuinely interested in it. You can also practice asking other people. I know we have Google, we have all kinds of assistants and things like that that we can ask for information. However, the more we practice asking questions to people, the more we're going to naturally develop that skill. We're also going to give other people the opportunity to thank you and to feel valued. A friend of mine asked me today, she asked me about starting internet businesses and things like that. And I tried to give her some different advice and some guidance and some links and things to get started. And I felt like I was doing the best I could to help someone else. And so you're giving people also the opportunity to help you. Observational conversational starter. I really like this because it hops into their mind. And an example is I was in the gym and I was leaving the gym, and the young woman who was working the desk, she had this expression on her face, and I said, it looks like you would love a beer. It looks like you love a beer to relax. And she said, no, I don't drink. And I said, oh, that's great. I don't really drink either. And we started talking, but we're talking about conversational starters. So what did I do? Okay, all I did was I noticed the expression she had on her face. Usually I'm a little bit more accurate when I say it, but it doesn't even matter. You can look at people and observe. And a great way to get started with this is just go around and observe and then confirm it with people. You can say, I was looking at you and I would guess that you look like you're an engineer, or you look like you're a successful business owner, you look like you're an athlete. I said something along the same lines of when I was shopping for some Adidas clothing. And it was a young guy with his girlfriend. He had a cool fashion to him, and I said, it looks like you are either a singer or an athlete or something like that. It was the same concept. I just observed and then I spoke what I noticed really in the moment, because you don't have time to go around, and if you follow people it's a little creepy. Just speak. You pick up one and you say something. And it turned out he was a singer, and we're talking about the importance of positively impacting other people. He just finished his album that was similar type of topic. So again, conversational starter, all it is just looking at someone and identifying something that you notice about them. And it could be that they look like they're happy. It could be like maybe a career that you think they have. Always keep it on the positive side. If someone is sad, don't tell them you look really sad. When I've seen someone who's sad, I say, I just wanted to come by and just give you lots of great energy. Something like that, with a smile and radiating out some positive vibes to them. That would be, I think, more appropriate. We always want to keep it on the positive side. Make our observations things that are uplifting and interesting, or if they're completely wrong, it's okay too, they'll correct you. And now you have a conversation started with the other person. A situational conversational starter is fantastic, because what you're doing is you're observing something that's going on around you, which is, it's helping bring you even more present. And at the same time, you're connecting with someone on this other activity that you're both looking at and enjoying together. This morning I was at the organic market, and they had Christmas music playing, which I absolutely love. Jingle bells and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So I was kind of singing to it to myself. That's me. I love the music and I love to dance. But what I was doing too at the same time is, since I sincerely felt it, whether it was couples, a guy or a girl or whatever it was, it didn't matter. People who I'd pass by and you make eye contact, I'd say, hey, isn't that music great? Yeah, it is. So that was I could have obviously continued the conversation, but I wasn't in most cases. However, it's doing the right thing. You're sharing something that you find positive or interesting, or sometimes there'll be a little baby that's walking around that's really cute, and I'll say, hey, you notice that little cute kid or whatever. It's not what I'm saying, it's the concept that you're noticing something going on around. You're sharing whatever it is you liked about it with sincerity and with congruence with other people around you. And this isn't something just to do when you want to start that conversation. It's more effective, in my opinion, when it becomes a habit of yours. Because the more we're present and we're noticing things, the more it'll be so easy in that moment when you have that one person you really want to meet. There'll be a lot less of any type of stress, because it's already become a habit for yourself. Plus, my theme, as I've been sharing, is that we want to go out, be sharing this great energy with other people, because it makes other people feel good, and that's what we should be doing. If this video was beneficial for you, then give it a thumbs up and share it. And any questions, which one did you like the best? You have a conversational starter you really like, share it in the comments so we can help even more all of the people who watch the video. Subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, because I have a lot of fantastic content that's going to help every area of your life. I send you lots of fantastic energy. I'm excited for the conversations you're going to have. And until the next video.